Hi, good morning. Welcome to our yard. It's early May, and I'm going to be giving you guys a garden tour to see what's been going on, all the changes that I promised were happening. Most of them happened. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we've made quite a bit of progress. So enjoy this tour. So here we have the cologne mint. It is doing really good. We got some new springs here. It's flowering, so the bees are enjoying the flowers here, bringing in the good pollinators. Purslane is still doing good. The chickens are loving the purslane. Here we have our yard long beans. So right in this area, I plan on building a makeshift trellis out of leftover chicken wire. So the yard long beans will be able to grow up right along the front edge of this bed. And then here I have my red romaine lettuce bolting. I'm letting it bolt purposely because I want to save seed for next year, or actually later this year, to grow some red romaine lettuce. The kale is still hanging on there. Can you see the stalk for this kale? And it's still really good. Aphids are in full effect now. You know, the weather's warmed up, so all the bugs are back, but kale is still doing really nice. Here we have some Swiss chard and then some rainbow chard, yellow and red over there. The collards are completely moved out now. We just have one left here, and it's kind of on its last leg. The chickens are enjoying it, so I've left it in place. Here is the corn. Corn has made huge progress. So army worms have been on the attack with the corn, so you can see some of the foliage is really eaten up. But we tried, let's see, it was BT at first, and that didn't work out too well. And then we tried diatomaceous earth, and that didn't really do much. Then we tried ashes, like leftover charcoal ashes from our barbecue, and it worked really good. So if you're fighting with army worms on your corn, barbecue ashes have worked pretty good. And I actually have corn coming in over here. So that's exciting. Over here we have yellow squash. Squash bugs. Like I said, it's spring. The weather is warmed up. Bugs are back in full effect. So squash bugs are here. We have these little things. I forgot what they're called, but they're here. Um, oh, yeah. Speaking of squash bugs, there's one right there. So with me treating with BT and diatomaceous earth, that kind of deters pollinators. So a lot of my squash here weren't pollinated because I'm essentially deterring bees. Hand pollinating whatever fruit I am getting here. But I knew coming into this growing squash hardly works out well for me. Here we have yam. My husband planted the yam. We have yellow yam and white yam growing here. We have six hills, six hills of yams, and they're growing up these sticks here, and they're basically just going to vine up and down the sticks until they're ready to harvest. It's a root vegetable. And then I interplanted a little bit of marigolds here too, just for some biodiversity. We have some CoCo, I think it's called Malanga as well. Malanga growing in between there as well. We have callaloo. We've harvested like, I want to say 5 or 6 times off of this callaloo already, and it's still doing really good. Radishes are ready to be harvested. see. Yeah, full-size French breakfast radishes. Grapefruit tree. Strawberries. I really need to work on these strawberries. They're not looking too hot. Spearmint is good. In this area here, we have more CoCo and Dasheen planted through here, which both of these actually look like the ornamental elephant ear. So it's a bulb that grows underground, and that is the part that you eat, the food underground. Is the other side of the bed. You can kind of see my summer squash in there. The ones that are pollinated are doing good. I'm harvesting almost like one a day now. Here is my bean jungle. I have lima beans, red green beans, and I believe it's the Kentucky Wonder green bean growing up the haphazard trellis. Harvesting a few off of here. I did get one good harvest of lima beans off of here, and I think there's like a second thrush coming on, so that'll be nice. Here we have our tomato bed. These are beefsteak and Roma tomatoes. Although it's a jungle, really, I have some nice sized tomatoes coming in on here. I know there's pretty slim to no airflow through this bed, so I have to get in there and prune somehow. We're using a new fertilizer this year, and this fertilizer is absolutely amazing. Like, I want to say this is 10 tomato plants, 10 to 15 tomato plants, but it is really, really thick and just vigorous. Foliage is really, really healthy. Like, I've never grown tomatoes like this before, and I mean, they're loaded with fruit. And here are my chickens. We have a new addition to the, well, actually two new additions. This is Oreo, our rooster. And there's Roxy there. Poppy is our Issa Brown. There's CoCo, our black sex link. That's Cleo, I think it's a cream leg bar. She's gonna lay blue eggs when she does start laying. We have a sapphire gem here. Her name is Luna. And here's Lynx, my not so friendly black sex link. So Lynx and CoCo are both black sex links, but CoCo is really, really nice, and Lynx is pretty standoffish. Okay, so in this bed here, we have our onions. Right here are our white onions. This is my first time growing onions, so I'm super proud of how healthy they look. Where are we at? Can you see, like, right in there how big the bulb is, or how big it looks like the bulb will be? So that's white. We have red onions here. You can kind of see right there. It's the red onion. So this whole section is red. Coming over here, we have our sweet yellow onions. And then in the block holes, we did bunching onions or scallions. So all the block holes will have scallions, and the actual bed has our onions. Our Barbados cherry looks really nice. I actually need to research to see if Barbados cherries are self-pollinating or if they need pollinators, because this thing was loaded with blossoms and also loaded with insects. So we weren't sure if we were supposed to treat for the insects or let them be. Um, well, I can kind of see right here we have a cherry hanging on there. So not certain on how that was supposed to work. Right past that, we have a sweet potato bed. This is like the traditional orange sweet potato in this bed. And then I have some marigolds on the corners, and then okra. This is the Clemson spineless okra in the block holes. And then I have two, I believe it's a Jing orange okra that I got from my friend Lauren over on Backyard Farms. She gave me two of those. So I'm really excited to get orange okra. The rest are the traditional green okra. And marigolds are getting close to flowering. All right, and then over here, right behind that, we have our pepper bed. So now in this pepper bed, all along the block holes, I have the hibiscus sorrel growing, and that goes all the way around this entire bed. And then in the bed, we have our peppers. So these first peppers here are our habaneros, or the Scotch bonnet peppers. So there's 5 of those there. And then here, I have my jalapeno. Has flowers. This one here is my poblano, which actually has fruit on it. And I love poblano peppers, so I'm excited about these. Here we have some bell pepper plants. And then just past that, we have our cayenne pepper plants. When I sowed seed for these cayenne, I didn't think they were going to germinate, and they all germinated. So I have 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cayenne pepper plants. So we'll be making hot sauce and crushed red pepper and whatever else I can think of to do with these peppers. And then I have some pepper plants that my friend gave me, Lauren over at Backyard Farms. I have the Corbaci pepper. I have a Quattro yellow bell pepper. I have the Yes to Yellow bell pepper. I have a Murasaki purple pepper. There's 2 jalapeno peppers, and then 2 Cubanelle peppers here. So, and then here are the rest of the hibiscus sorrel. Here are the pumpkin, or the Seminole pumpkin, the squash that I was growing. Remember, there's one little one here, and there's one little one on the other side of my lemongrass. Well, they're massive now. They take over like this whole area, which is awesome. They're starting to blossom now, so you have some really nice, big, pretty blossoms. The lemongrass is still doing really good here in the middle of these. And then we'll go over some of the herbs that we had here. So the thyme is still growing well. The German thyme. My borage has started flowering. And the leaves aren't quite as big as they were in the beginning. The size of the leaf kind of decreased as it started to blossom. The chives still going strong. This is a pretty big volunteer grape tomato from, I think the last time we grew it was 2019. So the seeds are still in circulation when we dug up our compost to like amend the beds. And it started growing, and now it's producing, and not complaining. It's good. So here we have the sage. Here is more red romaine I'm letting flower so I can collect seed from. So pretty soon all of these block holes will be empty because all the lettuce is bolting, and I'll be able to pull those out. The peanuts are still growing. They look yellow, but they're not dead. So that's a plus, I suppose. Here I have my marjoram, which is doing really good. Here is my failed attempt at saving my lemon balm. The lemon balm was dying over in that tire over there, and I tried to save it and move it over here, and that didn't quite work out either, so I'll have to start seed for those. Here is my backup spearmint, just in case something happens to the main spearmint plant. I have this to kind of carry on. These are my daughter's sweet cherry hybrid tomatoes, and they are producing, and they're super healthy. Look how nice those look. So she's having fun coming out here and picking the ripe tomatoes. So a little later she'll be able to come out and pick that one, if you can see it. She has some tomatoes to come out here and pick. All right, and then back here we have our melons. So right here, this first one is a cantaloupe. And this here is a sugar baby watermelon that I got from my friend Lauren. This one here is a honeydew melon. And here is the moon and stars watermelon. So we're back over here with that pumpkin, or the Seminole squash. You see how large it's gotten? Here's the banana tree that we planted a few months back. The banana tree is doing good, and we also have the suckers. The sucker is coming up. This marigold is planted here intentionally because I heard that the root system of marigolds helps deter nematodes, and nematodes is like the biggest pest you can have for a banana plantain variety of trees. So we're hoping that really does deter the nematodes. Here is my Jubilee watermelon, and then this one is flowering. It actually has fruit on it. Let me see. Can you see that baby watermelon there? This is our other banana tree, and it actually has two suckers, two really healthy suckers at the bottom here. So what we'll do is, when they are a little bit bigger, we'll take and move these and give them their own spot, so they'll become a whole tree on itself. So it just kind of duplicates itself. And in here, same marigold to kind of deter the nematodes. Over here we have some lettuce leaf basil. It's my first time trying this variety. It looks super pretty. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm excited. It's supposed to have a milder taste than the traditional basil and a much larger leaf, so that's exciting. And then we have our parsley. Quite a bit of parsley going down because it's really good for your chickens as well. We have our potatoes, which are flowering. And then what's left of my carrots are over there. Oregano is doing really good. Oregano is another herb that's really, really beneficial for chickens. It actually has antibacterial and antiviral properties to keep your chickens healthy, so you don't need antibiotics. Here is a sweet potato bed. Now this one is the white sweet potato, like the Caribbean white sweet potato. I think it's also called Bonito or Bonita. something along those lines. But in Jamaicans, it's just a sweet potato. It's like the sweet potato for Jamaica. And all of these plants, we got, I believe it was 3 sweet potatoes that we set, and we were able to get slips and plant out this entire bed of sweet potato. Here is our sugar cane. And our kneesberry tree. So this is what our yard looks like from the side view. So actually this part of the coop is a new addition. In my last videos, this part wasn't built. I'll insert some clips of when hubby was building this part. So we plan to, in the future, get birds that are just for meat, and we'll keep those separate from our laying chickens. So this front part will potentially be only for our meat chickens. We'll raise them solely for the purpose of eating them. And then the chickens that live in this second part here will be the ones that have names. I'm a permanent home here. Let's see. In our egg part, we have a chicken laying. This is Browning. Browning is laying an egg right now. We only have one nesting box ready. The rest aren't quite ready because the rest of our chickens aren't ready to lay yet. But we have one laying hen. We got the laying hen along with the rooster. So it's pretty exciting. We kind of get a sneak peek into what our life is going to be like once they all start laying. There's CoCo. I don't have food, guys. I don't have treats. And there's Lacey. This is our silver lace Wyandotte. So until this is sectioned off for the other birds, they kind of have free reign of this entire bottom floor, and then the door for upstairs is always open. So they can go upstairs if it does get too hot for them. They have upstairs with this one. So they have quite a bit of space. There's lots of things for them to dig and find. We're actually feeding them a whole food diet. I'm trying to stay away from as many processed things as possible. I want to give them whole grains, real unprocessed, unrefined foods, because I'm going to eat the eggs from them and I want them to be as whole and as nutritious as possible. So instead of going for the bag of ready-made foods, I actually went to our local feed store and I bought some whole ingredients to mix myself. So this is the mix I have here. It's cracked corn, wheat, and Milo. I added in some black oil sunflower seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds, and then I supplement with just greens from the garden. So the parsley, oregano, kale, collard greens. All right, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our tour, and I will see you next time. Bye.